Harold. Harold! I call! I play video game! And if you give me some non fuck, I give you fuck. Hard fuck. Side fuck. Tender fuck. Pity fuck. Hate fuck. Sad fuck. Cause all I want to do is give hot fuck to you. Oh boy. Sane man would say, "What's got Carl disturbed?" And the normal fucker would answer, "Oh, it must be the soju. It's the soju that is in his hand that none of us can see. That's 375 milliliters, but 12% alcohol by volume. It must be that. That charcoal filtered soju got him turned off the rip." But no, I've been thinking of that joke for like 5 months now, straight. The context of that is Downsizing. It's one of those films that Matt Damon did. It's comedy. Basically, what if you shrunk people down to the size of a miniature, thus conserving money in the world? A person who has like $50,000 could live like they have millions because they produce that much less effort, that much less food, that much less waste, etc., etc. No, an actual real comedy. One of the scenes in the film, I forget the name of the actress, but I think the context of the plot is that she's supposed to be some type of foreign national, Singaporean, some type of person from the Southeastern Asian continent, right? And his character has sex with her in a scene. Then the next day, she walks up to her. She walks up to him and says, "What kind of fuck you give me?" And he's like, "Excuse me? What kind of fuck you give me? Last night in the room, what kind of fuck you give me? There's only so many kind of fuck in the world." She says 6, but I'm paraphrasing the scene. Sad fuck, hate fuck, pity fuck, laugh fuck. And he starts waffling on about something in the scene. She's like, "So it is laugh fuck." And for a month and a half, and then for almost 5 months, where I cannot be heard, especially when I am in a room with Star, I stand there singing to myself, as I often once do. Oh my god, what song was I parodying when I was thinking of this? Was it Joe? I don't think it was. No, I can't remember what song I was parodying. But I kept saying to myself, where nobody else could hear me, unless they were really paying attention to my mouth, "All I want to do is make sweet fuck with you." My dick hard, no pussy too cool. Let me fuck with you. don't know why the fuck it's so hilarious to me. But it is. It's funny. And I refuse to claim that it's not. Also, that reminds me. I don't have to answer that. That's her. She answers the phone. I don't use a house phone. That reminds me. Ordurbus. You had mentioned once in one of these shorts that I've made about being jump scared. Those aren't jump scares. I'm documenting something. Right now, I'm in the middle of rolling out a slow amount of videos. Some are shorts, some are actual videos that are labeled TikTok Insanity, specifically as a part of the Voice Note app saga. Majority of these things is me showing people what happens on TikTok. I'm not going to do that, Pip. I mention this because I do remember you saying that the one of the ones, it was the horse one, where you're like, "Damn, Carl, I'm not gonna keep looking at these things. If you just keep doing shit like me, I'm gonna skip them." And it's like, no, you cannot skip them. If you skip them, you're gonna miss part of the point, because some of these you have to like witness them in order to understand where I'm coming from. I'm gonna show you what I mean. So there's a series of TikToks I need to make. I have the draft saved on one of the pieces, right? Because today's output was specifically this one. It was specifically this one right here. The one about the perfume, right? But right now we are right here. And we are right here. This is not centered to the screen. Now this is centered to the screen. We're right here and we're right here. Alright? The one that you got upset about was right here. Right? Because I bought my media phone on this TikTok. Right? So we've got daily wake-ups where I need to look at myself in the mirror, see what my hair looks like before I go live on air. But then we had R. Kelly dancing to herself. And then I don't know if people really understood the context of this. So in order for this one to make sense, I have to like read the title the way that I wrote it. Menopausal woman. Because if you know yeah, so, like, everything I do is usually based off of something, and I do it based on a vision, right? So, white women be crazy. Long ago in a distant past, when the quaaludes were pure and ran like water, and the love was free, and the booger sugar was hidden, and white people had rhythm and grooves. She was a flower child. Yeah, like all those. Those are done specifically on purpose. Right? And then, Miss, your body was made to keep a clan from going out and being extinct. And then, this one, what was this one? Ah, I remember. Gilf and Cookies. That's right. Gilf and Cookies. Gilf and Cookies. Each of these is me setting up an entire concept, which is, look at the shit that's happening on the other side of the internet where you don't see it. Because up here are some of the ones that came from the past. You see the sheer difference in, like, video number? There are people who are still watching this particular one because the original source video is basically gone. Think of it like Deep Steve diving on the cringe side of the internet and dredging things up and bringing them back to YouTube for people to see. So, in the order of things that are happening when it comes to shit like the voice note app discourse, there are a couple of pieces that are like relevant and necessary. There's like this one, and then occasionally takes like happened before I bought the media phone. Like all of these ones, anything that basically has a title listing here, with the exception of the ones that are just voice acting, is me speaking on something, with the exception of like when I cooked lemonade and when I went to the Perry Fair. But every single one of these is me breaking something down, right? This is not really easily communicated on YouTube through shorts, because you don't get to change the titling of shorts. You don't get to put shit on here like these. What I can do is I copy it over and I repost it the exact same way that I posted it on this application onto YouTube. So, we're here, and we've got like several different pieces of information to go. So, for example,
get from this voice note guy where men are like, you know, what, do you want open and clear communication or not? Because when you get it, you're angry, and when you don't get it, you're angry. And it's like, obviously women want open, clear, honest communication, but they would prefer that the honest you is not just looking to sleep with them and use them and objectify them.
And it's like, when you hear shit like that, and I'm not putting it in a video format, if you only get it in the short format, which is what happens, any video uploaded from mobile on YouTube automatically gets configured as a short. You miss hours and hours of material, content, discourse, and looking at the live does not communicate that, especially since this is a focused topic. But I can't just drop a singular video about this topic, because it's not one singular video. There are many pieces and parts to this. There are multiple content creators that need to be credited as like being the focal point that starts to jump off of this. And I'm making those in parts, and I'm releasing them in parts. And as I do anything, I don't ever put dates and timestamps on things, because that would destroy my creative style of my flow. My artistic flow starts when I come across something that is perfect for the point that I need to explain in the piece of material, and then I finish it that way. Sometimes when I'm angry, it's really easy to find motivation, but for a lot of this, it's not easy to find the motivation. Because right now, what I have in front of me is the tweet that I just put together. So, on Twitter, from this account, Halos on Horns, this is an actual pedophile with a 222, that says on the side, page document about them. I just finished pinning this tweet before I went live, and I need to make sure I changed all the rest of the titles across everything that I need to change. So all of this shit together, comparably to me, is like, I don't just shoot a man dead, I execute him. I hang him. I hang him in front of everybody with irrefutable information that nobody can doubt. Because remember the last time we had this conversation? You guys remember, I showed you the tweet. The guy who said, "How dare you, Carl? You don't give information the correct way. Your information is filled with anger and spite. I want the information simpler and more contextual and with better understanding." Remember that shit? Remember when I explained that? Erdurbus probably does not. I don't think they were here. But I didn't put it in video format or make it a clip for people to get that context. But those of you who are frequent watchers, you were here when I explained that. Well, this is the consequence of what happens from that, because I absolutely take notes. And I take notes in ways where people get what they asked for, and then if they get angry, I say, "This is what you asked for, shut up, stop crying." And that's where I am right now. I'm in the stop crying, we're not even done phase. I think there was a tweet, no, there was a response on one of these that I got from somebody. Not this one. Not this one. Not that one. Where is it? Here we go. One of these responses that I got on the clip, where a person says, "You." this is absolutely not what I expected to see here. You baited me with a horrendous clip here, Carl. And I'm like, baited? This is a daily react series. And he's like, come on, dude, I'm joking. It still feels weird about the clip, and it's like, when people see this happen, and I talk about this, and I, like, display this, and I communicate about this, people are like, Carl, why would you think those things? And it's like, do you not know what people are typing in the comments on most of my videos? Because most of my videos exist to live as an archive. They live to exist as material that people are going to watch after the broadcast, since most of my content is created from live streams. And then, on places and in times where I re-upload things from the live stream VOD, like when I was accused of being a pedophile, and I read that man to filth, that is what happens on my end of the discourse. It's confusing to me when that happens, because that's what it looks like on my end. It doesn't just, like, come out of nowhere. I don't get angry out of nothing. I don't get frustrated from nothing. I'm usually reacting to something, or I am speaking in retort to something that I saw, that I heard, that I am describing, that I am criticizing. It's very common for me to do this. Like, I've never been surprised about this. Even when I'm on Jay's broadcast, should I wish to call in, or she asks me to do something with her, or even when we're reviewing something, when we're doing it in video format, and she sends it off to her other editor to give back to her in the form of videos. Like, say, the Vampire series and the shit with Robin Hood, if any of the clips of her and I watched it together exist, or shit like that. Or, even for a better example, just on my channel, the shit that I put together with She-Hulk. Any of those examples usually come as a reaction of me having done research into something, and people being like, well, we don't want all those extra details, and it's like, no, if you had the extra details, you'd be more upset and pissed off, right? I don't know, no, she did leave it in for episode 1, but for episode 2 and episode 3, with that kind of diatribe that I gave, because, like, the Vampire starts boring as fuck, so there's not a lot to, like, react to that's fun and exciting. I broke down the reason why I've had such high energy reactions. Because most of the time it's acting, right? Like, I don't get that surprised. I don't get that abrasive. I don't get that angry. I don't have autism with how I do things. I do things with a choice. I'm a satirist at my core. And because I'm a satirist, inspiration strikes me like lightning, and I make the shit on the spot. It all comes from a resource. The problem I have is that communicating that is very hard. Because part of the joke is that I'm dropping it on your head. But there are, in fact, signs. I do leave breadcrumbs to figuring out and deconstructing and constructing and understanding the humor that's being presented. Because I'm also sardonic. Unfortunately, with people just trying to monetize everything, you miss those little tidbits. Because if that person isn't paying attention, how the fuck will they know what I'm on about? Then from their point of view, what I'm talking about that makes perfect sense sounds like nonsense to them. I'll give you a perfect example. How many people do not realize that I'm a stepfather? How many people do not realize that I'm in a long, loving, happy relationship? Even if the people wanted to come punch it in a different way by saying, oh, that's not your partner, that's your girlfriend, and that's her child. It's like, yeah, do you not realize I'm in a relationship? That, like, when Carl speaks, he's not speaking from, like, the point of view of, like, some weird incel. I've been dripped into coochie since forever. The only thing that I've changed from before, when I started my career, and even then, for me, then it wasn't a career, it was a hobby. It grew into a career. Has been me not explaining the jokes anymore. I'm not holding people's hands through the material. It's because that's gay. It stops the timber. All the energy of reaction gets killed. So somebody doesn't understand what's being said because they're out of the loop. And despite how much effort I've spent teaching people how to look shit up and figure things out, nah, I have to hold their hand. Or, citing that one example, I mistyped Oreos.
I think.
Or, to cite exactly what was said on this post. Quote, and worse, there's somebody who came behind me and tried to tell me that I'm cherry picking what's being said. So, let's leave this together. I gotta put down my popcorn. I'm eating hot popcorn, in case anybody cared. When I see exchanges like this, and someone says to me, quote, I have not seen such concentrated bitterness since I was with my ex-boyfriend. I want to hear your side of things, but a 5-minute rage rant and pity party after every syllable is exhausting. This style of content is not for me, but I want to have a more thought-out idea explaining your concepts and discussing things with these tourists. My immediate response is, you should tune into my broadcasts. Nothing I said was bitter. Neither what I said or what Jay said. Learned healing comes from recognizing things that you do not like and recognizing the pattern in others and how that affects you. It requires an open mind, but you're telling me that you're not ready for it without using the words. Because, allegedly, I am cherry picking. I'm just straw manning and cherry picking. This is what people and Signifier do in order to get people on their side. They make you think that they aren't saying what they're saying from a place of bitterness. We are real people with real visceral experiences and emotions, glazing it in university language, and faking emotion, and not being real, not being authentic and genuine, doesn't make it good. Especially when you showed how, when people like this paradigm shift come off when they talk about somebody needing to have a blazing fist. To remind you of the language that came from this video, I'll let some of it play out on screen. Real. Nigga, you for real? Nigga, you not for real.
The healthy route.
I think that we are all quite aware that a lot of black people participate in a lot of cool behavior. I'm just saying it out loud, straight and foremost.
The healthy route.
I feel like we be engaging with a lot of goofies.
The healthy route.
Like, I'm sorry, you're not black. You don't get that conversation.
So, when I say things like that, especially in this video, this 3-hour, 22-minute, 38-second explanation, laying out exactly the problems, sourced with the examples from the video. When somebody walks up to me on my content and says, I don't know what I'm talking about, I'm just angry, I'm just bitter, I'm just upset, I don't have any explanation, I can't walk through any explanation because it's all just vibrant ranting, and I slow down and I tell them, no, you don't get what's being done. You are going to years old content and trying to psychoanalyze me based on things you don't know about me. Sit in the fucking peanut gallery and eat your popcorn. Do not step into my arena or I will psychoanalyze you. And I will do a lot better job than you do. Quote, this is a year old. The content presentation is not inclusive of my mind, maturity, ideas, ideals, etc. that I have in the present. Were you the same a year ago? 10 years ago? My entire channel is an open letter to my life and experiences, which is a work in progress. Quote, you're just strawmanning and cherry-picking what they're saying, which is ironic. You're saying that you're not being hateful, while actively incorporating everything in bad faith, spreading misinformation and framing these people as awful. Nigga, where's the frame? How can I frame them as awful when I'm quoting them directly in their content? That piece at 18 minutes, 27 seconds before I go into the next section was literally before where it played in context where the material came from. out of context, how can it be out of context when I'm citing it directly on tape? These things. This is what I'm talking about when people do the shit that I say and then have the audacity to say, what is bro yapping about? Some people say it intentionally to try and rage bait. I just ban those people now. That's why I do cross-community bans. Because they actually wanted to know, they could have walked into my Discord and said, SinglePlayerCarl, I want to know what's up with you. And I would have dropped everything I was doing at that moment to bring them on camera and be like, tell me what it is that you got wrong. Let me walk you through this. Let me show you the material. Let me show you the background. Because every time that I do what I do, for example, every time that I go to the circles, when I go and I demonstrate on camera, in alternate screens, things like what I have inside of my... Why is it not showing up? There you go. When I show things like what I have inside of my documentation, in the notes that I take in the background every now and again, especially when it comes to Obsidian, when I show off things like this, when I go through my notes, and I explain things on camera, my buttons! Why is my application lagging? I gotta close and reopen my Obsidian, I think. Flower man. Unless... it was my controller. Wow, that's fucking retarded. But every single time that I show examples, like explanations for my thought processes, or the concepts that I've written down thousands and thousands of times and explained thousands of times on camera, when I take notes about the material that I'm looking at and I'm watching, that nothing is based out of nothing. I do everything based on a concept that I explain on camera. When I show how I take evidence about how I make donations and how I take track of things. The ideas that come in my head as I look at the person and how they behave, and I start making notes about their patterns. When I write down entire dissertations about actions. When I listen to the words of a content creator basically slowly going mad, and various examples of how they want to be hypocritical, and all the other shit that they do. This is where those people who act like that come from. Because they say shit like that, and they do shit like this, and when you hold them accountable, they will just pretend that you're not doing what they're asking for, right? Every single time, without fucking fail. Then, on the other side of it, starting from here, bad faith, spreading misinformation, framing these people as awful. You can't open the video by passive-aggressively saying that Signifier is a like-minded bigot and talking about the monster and roaches and calling him schizophrenic and doing all this ad hominem shit in the first 5 minutes and then fall back on you saying you aren't being hateful and saying that learned healing is a process. You are hateful. And when you use that language, you're not advocating for healing. Actually, I am. Because you know what's good about that? It's better out than in. Do you know why? Because when you start saying things outright and full force, it is exhilarating. When you're able to say, that's bullshit, I ain't doing that shit, you reveal that there is a line that you're not willing to go to. So, for example, when people decide to tell you that actually you as a black male need to sit down, sideline yourself, and let other people tell you that you as a black male need to just accept that you need to listen to black femmes. You need to make yourself a slave to them. You need to make yourself subservient to them. You need to behave as though they are your mother. And you need to just let them run roughshod over you, non-stop, until the cows come home. That is not healthy. That's why I looped that clip on that video specifically that way. Pillboy's words, alongside Signifier sitting there, signal boosting what Paradigm Shift was saying in that clip, is the healthy route. The healthy route is being a video essayist and lying to people's faces. The unhealthy route is being sardonic, expressive, and entertaining when you are making edutainment. So what they want is for me to passively sit here in front of the camera and meekly explain what I'm talking about, or hypocritically, autistically, snarkily, making fun of people the way that H Bomber Guy does. Because you know what's healthy? What H Bomber Guy does. H Bomber Guy is healthy. FT Signifier is healthy. A 4 and 9, you need 4. A 4 and 9, you need 4 and 9 is healthy. And ironically, in being that retarded, people like my perpetual hater, who has yet to make content of any veracity that anybody cares about, that isn't politics, as he's completely abandoned his original manipulated lines of material. I don't know why it's not letting me open this transition. Open, close. There we go. For all the antics and anger that was done by this fucking lolcow when he tried to come at me, this guy, and others like him, they're the healthy route. I gotta be honest, it's not. It's not anywhere close to healthy. Was it healthy when Shark03 tried to lie about me? No, it wasn't. It was pity. It was pitiful, excuse me. It was based in anxiety and in trying to get one over on somebody. And it was one of his worst rated videos, and it remains one of his worst rated videos to this day. But did anybody call him unhealthy when he did it? No, they didn't. Do you think they call Signifier unhealthy when he doesn't? No. You know why? Because that's how much they want to glaze the nuts. Other people's methodology of learning is wrong if you don't do it the right way. And what I've learned for that is that is what people consider correct. And that is the problem. That is the problem. So, update that to the future. What does that look like now? I can tell you what it looks like. It looks like what I did inside of Pragmata. It looks like the shit that I did when I was pushing in the Birdman shit in the background. Specifically, when I said this, doing protests and making good trouble.
Like, you think that this was a farce, that it was an intentional joke done by somebody who clearly knows that he's fucking around and wasting people's time. Because, you see, when people say, bro, it's not a good look trying to defend somebody like Kinoflex, you know why I do it? It's because it's right!
That's not being done for, like, tee-hee-hee, ha-ha-ha, isn't that a funny joke? No, that's me explaining to the world why things are wrong and why you have to act this way. Because the alternative here, open up the thread real quick. The alternative here is that, I clicked 20 times. I clicked one too many times. The alternative is that this is the healthy route. The other alternative is that this is the healthy route. The other alternative is that this is the healthy route. And you see the problem with that? Even worse example. Me explaining points and me making content and pointing at the problem and saying, that right there, that's an issue. That's unhealthy. This is unhealthy. This is unhealthy. This is healthy. This is healthy. This is healthy. I'll put it a different way. Obsession and stalking is healthy. That's correct. That's what people should do. Having a point, laying out people's behaviors, antagonism, anxiety, issues, pointing out how people have gotten shit historically wrong, making a point of tarring and feathering people, making them live up to their statements and their actions, having a smug face about it, being entertaining, keeping it light and airy, that's unhealthy. Why is it unhealthy? I don't know. Because there's just as much annoyance. Oreo. There is just as much annoyance.
I think that
and there is just as much criticism in this section as much as there is in this section.
I'm away with words, huh?
I'm not sorry.
And then this one doesn't even do all the pageantry, don't even gotta do all that fucking yap, and they just come right out and say it. You don't want children, you want pets. The incels in the replies are proving my point. You people can't even stand criticism online. You think you're ready to raise children because of a video game? Projection. That's what that is. Because you know what I know? I can hear him. You're right, Shinzo Abe. They can kill the man, but they truly cannot kill the idea. I hear you, King. King, I hear you. Yes. Yes, Nakadashi. Every woman, everywhere in the world. Asians and Polynesians, the big-boned ones too. Quarter pounding all across the globe. We are the night. We are the children.
What's the difference between these two segments? What's the difference between these two examples? The truth of the answer, for those at home playing the home game of Single Player Carl, is the answer is there's no difference. The answer is that it's not long then bad. That's the actual truth. How dare you criticize people? How dare you use sources? How dare you use examples? And how dare you be longer than an hour, but not 12 hours, so that I can say, oh, that's not long, I'm not gonna watch all that shit. Nah. 1 to 3 hours is comfortably long enough for a video essay if I'm actually making a real video essay to explain all the problems that I have and all the takes that I have that are wrong with the things that are being said. Especially when, in this example, do you know who's on the call with me? I didn't put a representation of her on the screen, but a black femme is in the room with me! That's the fun part! A black femme. Lauren, J. Longbone, a woman, a black woman, and a black man together on a recording or criticizing two black men about something they think that they are hypocritical and wrong about. Because the statement is that they need to be subservient. And here, a black man and a black woman work together to criticize two dumb motherfuckers. Two dumb niggas. Two dumb niggas. It's like two stupid dogs, but black. The problem here is that I did it correctly here. I, as a black man, worked together with a black woman to criticize a black man with his head up his ass who tried to recruit that black woman into being on his side and failed about why he's wrong. People get angry because how dare you criticize my favorite content creator? Because guess what? This person follows FD Signifier. This person does not follow FD Signifier. This person follows FD Signifier. You're hypocritical. Why? Because you're attacking my favorite creator! Meanwhile, removed about a year and 4 months. Oh, well, you see, this is a popular thing that everybody knows about. How do I know? Oh, because Hassan Piker was being mocked on it. How do I know that? Because Chew on Head zinged him. That's why we now have Shu doing the clock meme after years of people like, what was his name? Freedom Rainray, what is his name? Stefan Molyneux, Mr. Bald Eggman, actively telling her, your eggs, June, your eggs. And then after she marries Eudaimania Esquire and has his child, a man who is a literal lawyer, and she chooses to become a mother, she doesn't make a bunch of brouhaha about it, and a bunch of other bullshit about it. No, you did not trigger me. I was going to have this point here. It's just convenient that you were in the room, because I wanted to make sure to address it. I am using you as a proxy to explain something for other people. Because she chose to go forth and do that, and then that was had on the camera, and that was seen on the camera, then it's ignoble. They can't deny it. This other shit, they can deny. This, they cannot. They have to be in on the joke, you see. And that's a problem for them. Because here I am, being myself. They're tone policing me here. That's what they're trying to do. They're trying to tone police me. And the correct response is I do it more aggressively and harder next time. If you tell somebody, oh, your content is too long, I'm not going to make it longer, but I'm going to make it as agonizingly painful as possible. Oh, I'm not giving enough context? Let me give you all this context. And then I'm going to call you a retard because you couldn't pick it up with the simple bits that were there. Because some people are so smart. If they're saying I'm not doing enough research, let me give you the sources. Let me put them in the description box. Then when they say, you don't have a right to do that, you're taking them out of context. My direct response is I say, are you fucking retarded? The sources are in the description. Which reminds me. All of these things are very necessary. All of these things are very necessary for all of the little compartmental pieces that make up the reason why I do things. And for the process going forward with the voice note app discourse, I'm laying things out in a very specific way. Where, when I say it in the content, and I say, those of you who are at home playing the home game of SinglePlayerCarl, you see the crazy shit I post here on TikTok? And some people who are out of the loop would be like, huh? What? Carl posts on TikTok? What is he talking about? And obviously, the YouTube Shorts are what I'm talking about. Because I literally post them, and then I open up YouTube, and I repost them, and then sometimes I open up Twitter, and I repost them there. But I don't have that big of a following on Twitter since my first account was fucked. I never regained much of any of the followers that I originally had. So it's like, post there, post here, post Instagram, and then I'm done with the day. And then I go live. All of those things all go together, you see, Urdurus. And all of it is because of shit like this. My creative process is designed to shut those people the fuck up. So, people like the Birdman haters, for example. Because when I do it, it's hate. When they do it and they socially stalk people and basically lie out of the side of their neck, that's just, you know, what you do. It's bizarre. And people like this Halo guy basically pretending that, nobody can hold me accountable out in the real world. I'll get away scot-free. That's where I just come up and I'm just like, hey, I have your entire docs, bro. I shouldn't say entire docs. I should say document. But yeah, the entire document, I have it. I have access to the entire thing. All 222 pages. And if a person really wanted to, this is where you should be doing a subsection form request for the DMCA takedown so that you can notify legal authorities in his area to get him off of social media. If you really wanted to be sneaky, you would, you'd claim copyright on their name so that you can basically stop them from using the name that you copyright. If you really wanted to get them off of Twitter. And then send the information ahead to the police department so the moment that the account gets closed, you can then have it reopened for a subpoena. That's what you should do if you're on maximum pettiness. But that requires, you know, context, foresight. People aren't very good about that. It's a whole thing. Excuse me, I'm being called out of the room. I need to step away for about 5 minutes to go handle a nursing thing. But what we're trying to establish here, the main idea, the main goal, do not worry if you see some crazy shit that comes out of my account. Just pay attention to whether or not there is a goal behind it. Unlike Poe's Law, I don't post shit to try to get y'all's attention, to try to rage bait you. I don't do rage bait. Oh, I can bait, but I don't do rage bait. If I'm doing something to elicit a very specific response based on a very specific stimuli. Now, unfortunately, I have to leave the room. So, before I leave the room, I'm going to play for you the music of my people. And by the musical of my people, I mean some of these musical bits that I found, that I posted to the Mexican playlist. That's the one I wanted. Alright, I'll be right back. Okay, I walked back in this room multiple times to change the song. I need to go to the kitchen and blend something, and I'll be right back. Don't throw it away someday, right into the sky. I'm going to scream inside of my own skin. Oh my god. Okay. It's 409. There are 2 sake bottles on my desk. This one is about 30%. Now we can finally get to the video game playing and the conversation talking that I planned for. So sorry that it took me this long. The little platoon is eviscerating Nolan in the Odyssey, and I want to see that. Unfortunate. One day, people will invest in a second screen. As will I, but not today. I can't afford it. Costs too much. I've seen it. The last one I saw was like curly Q curls, and it was like brown, white frosting. It was like small little Camelo Dindus with dark, cushy brown droplets, and inside a white woman nougaty center. But not even joking. No fooling.
As an issue because the communication doesn't come.
Oh, right. Inbox. I'm outperforming video, allegedly. Allegedly. Alright. Jupiter Hell. That's full screen. I have to wait till the cutscene's done. Welcome to Jupiter Hell. Updated edition. By default, for an agonist of Jupiter Hell is pretty foul-mouthed. The game features obscene amount of swearing. You can turn off profanity by selecting clean below. Furthermore, the voiceover follows the stillness that was commonly found amongst the protagonists of video games from the 1990s. If you don't think you'll enjoy that, select Serious below. You can change and fine-tune the setup at any time during the settings menu. Alright, now I can do what I was trying to do. Whoop. Change that on that platform. And this is done with arrow keys. Does it have controller? It does. Pop. I have to assume that it's going to try and teach this in a more sensible way. That's a lot of instructions. D up, D down, or A and B to continue. Back, D up, zero, right, fire at target, reload, item to the ground, trigger cycle. Turn-based, grid-based, scroll-like video game. After every action you take, enemies take their turn. Facing with the characters in the game doesn't matter, only position. The objective is to travel to the bases and moons on Jupiter, Callisto, Europa, and Io to reach the final boss. Pro tip, to defeat the end boss, shoot at it until it dies. Play tutorial to learn the basics of the game. Afterwards, advanced topics are available to browse on the left. Yes, this is indeed basically Doom, but different. While it may appear that the game functions in an alternating chess-like turns, you move, they move, not every action takes the same amount of time. Underneath, the game uses a timeline, so some enemies seem to skip a turn and move twice, depending on timing. In effect, if you get a speed boost, or a trait that makes you take an action 75% of the time, you might be able to squeeze an extra turn every 3 turns. There's no indicator of the order of moves, although, in time, you will reasonably be able to predict it. Against the hit, depending on several factors, weapon accuracy, which you can check. If it's not present, it means the weapon has a 100% accuracy modifier, otherwise its modifier shoe the 100%. Second are things affecting the character, be it pain or even traits that modify accuracy. Next, for weapon range and enemy cover. To increase your chances to hit, you can aim. You do a wait action. Note if you're behind cover, this also does hunker, so you cover action. And we'll figure the rest out as we go. As this is your first time playing Jupiter Hell, we'll give you a short tutorial. Only take a couple of minutes and introduce the turn-based, grid-based nature of the game, controls, and a primary basic strategy. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome to Jupiter Hell. This is a turn-based, grid-based, permadeath, dungeon-crawling game, a classic roguelike. The focus of this game, however, is based on ranged combat. We'll walk you through an introductory level, and then you can jump right in. The tutorial is focused on keyboard or gamepad, as this is a suggested way of playing, but you can enable full mouse control in the options afterwards. It's going to take a while to get used to using that omnidirectional. Minimap. Character pattern be left and the bottom left. Okay, shots appear in the top right. If you can see him, you can shoot him. Got some ammo. Left trigger. Towards the door. Bump into it. Items such as medkits are not used instantly, but stored in inventory. Use it to insert inventory and select the medkit.
That hit the spot.
Fire at him. Status bar at the bottom. Stomach pain by fire. Action has to hit. Near Marine.
You have active skill that can help and only use as long as you have enough fury and heals you for a bit and converts a portion of any pain to health. The skill doesn't take time, use it safely in the middle of combat. Marine gains his class resources by killing enemies. Hold right trigger and press down. No, directional pad left to activate. Now I can finish him off. Note that the pain removing effect of adrenaline stays for a couple turns. Get a shotgun. Notice a shotgun. Compare if it has sets which you currently have in hand.
Shred them to pieces.
Shells. Reload gun. And fire. That was satisfying. Shotguns deal area damage, so you can get multiple kills with a single shot. Don't forget to reload after each shot. Shotgun is nice, but let's switch to the pistol again. You can carry up to 3 weapons to stand bar. Hold right trigger and press X to switch back to the pistol. Luckily, Marines start with extra medkits. You still have one, you can now.
That ain't the spot.
And let's go to the next room. Move in, take a better look. Now here's an idea. Why not blow up those barrels? So you need to use manual targeting, press right stick, and then move the target to the barrels. And press right stick again. Barrels ignore damage in the pistol shot, so it's worth to use your environment. Continue to the next room. I don't seem to have a sure shot on this ugly guy behind cover, so you can wait. Press left stick to wait. They didn't move closer, but things are good. Notice 2 buffs you received. Hunker, which further decreases your chance to be hit behind cover, and possibly the reason you missed. And Aim, which you received by waiting while having a try to be targeted, decreasing your odds of significantly hit. So, now fire. By shooting, your buffs are gone, since they both apply only once per turn. Increase your values further by subsequently waiting, but he's almost dead. Try to finish him off. Another one down. Seems like there's a grenade on the floor. Let's check it out. Uh-oh, someone spotted you grabbing your sweet loot. You can use item directly from the ground by using left trigger and pressing A. How about we send this one his way? We throw X to throw it out.
Clear.
Now, wasn't that a beautiful view? When it seems clear, heads up towards the elevator. For the sake of introducing to the equipment screen, why don't you leave your shotgun here? Enter the inventory screen and use D-pad to navigate between panels. Once you find the equipment panel, highlight shotgun and press Y to drop it. Good work. Head up towards the elevator to finish the tutorial. Congratulations on finishing the tutorial. Now starting a new game and see how you can remember combat. Just remember, the game is turn-based, no need to rush anything. Pacing doesn't matter, neither for you or the enemies. Movement is only in 4 directions. Diagonal movement is only a side effect of the ammunition system, and is 2 moves consecutively. You will level up and gain traits, pick a master trait at the bottom, and work towards getting it as soon as possible. Try to keep behind the cover. Note the enemy's cover is red, and if they're in cover, it's best you break line of sight and make them pursue you. What kind of game is this? This is a true roguelike. It is basically the kind of game designed after the blood of NetHack and ancient domains of mystery. My microphone's not directly pointed at me. This game is featured in the store under various different titles. I'll show you. So if you go to the store page says that this is a traditional roguelike with strategy, turn-based, and that it is best comparable to titles such as Slay the Spire and Path of Exile, which is hilarious to me. However, what this is really most simulacrally like is some of the different games that you've seen me play on camera. One of them is Demon Spore, which has yet to come out yet. But most especially for me,
It is most like one of the original roguelikes called Fatal Labyrinth. I don't know why this thing won't let me resize it. Really old kind of content. So, Fatal Labyrinth is based on NetHack, but versus the original way that NetHack looked, where NetHack looked like in this,
it displays in the floor,
where it looked like asymmetric lines and abstract. Fable Labyrinth basically gives it some animation and some design so that you can basically understand what you're looking at. And it is a true dungeon delver. This one is more grid-based in the form of up, down, left, right, and having to walk towards things. But games like this, the Enchanted Labyrinth, or excuse me, the Enchanted Cave 2, things of this design, all of these games are of the same aspect of true roguelike genre. Unlike things that like try to give you a cheat, so they call themselves roguelite, this is a true roguelike. It's just that this, much like how, say, some of the original DOSBot games, like Shadow Warrior, had a original look, and they do have a classic version on the store. You can see it right here when it talks about Jupiter Hell Classic. That is what kind of game this is. It's the exact same concept. Exact same. 1-to-1. So, one of the other games that I play that you guys don't often get to see me play because I play it like Grand Strategy, The Doors of Trithus. This game is the same. Open world RPG roguelike, simulation, traditional roguelike, with world automation, where, at least with this one, it's not fully complete yet. Well, meanwhile, the one that's being worked on by Arthur Samowski is titled Solash 2. It is much more the speed that most players would get into. All of these games are fun to play, mind you. All of them. Every single last one of them. They're all fun to play. It's just that most people, they don't have the temerity, they don't have the energy to want to keep up with what's being played, you know? So it's like, the energy that they put in and the time that they put in, if it's too hard, they don't want to be in it. The difference with all of these things, of course, is that you have to, like, actually have the wanting and willingness to play through it. Because if you don't, you're just going to end up being bored. You'll get bored of dying, you'll get bored of being set back, yada yada, blase blase. These are one of the many titles that were being covered on some of the lead-up events around SGF. Just like our last stream, I looked at 33 Immortals, which was featured on SGF. I'm trying it out while talking to the rest of you. Basically demonstrating how I spend my free time not being rage baited to play video games that piss me off. Reach Corporal rank to unlock. Missing Bronze 5, Silver 1. Reach Lance Corporal to unlock. Increase difficulty for turn-based roguelike sections. Default difficulty recommended for players with turn-based roguelike experience. Recommended for players that have no experience. So they even ease you into it with the difficulties. All of these games are usually the same. In the sense that you have your character skills, then you have your class, and usually the goal that you're going after. Between the ones like Adam and the ones like Jupiter Hell is more like the Enchanted Cave 2, and Adam is more like chewing. There's more like Baroni and Soul Ash 2 and Doors of Trithias. Some are run-based, where you start a run every time with a different class, and some are campaign-based, where the entire run is your save file. Yes, I have Baroni. I have not gotten to sit down and play a full session of it. Baroni, tomato, bologna, bellotto. Marines are the backbone of Joey Sec. Fury is the resource. Regenerates the kills. Each time you enter a new level, you automatically heal 10% max life. For 30 points of Fury, you channel your adrenaline, heal a bit, convert 1/4 of your pain modifier to health, and protect yourself from pain for 5 seconds. Scout's the master of self and has the best intel. Scout generalized energy is a class resource, regenerating when opening your chests and overflowing until you leave a level. Scouting ahead has revealed the location of all regular elevators. Branch connections and special levels are still hidden. For 25 energy, you can activate self and go invisible for a few turns or until you attack, gaining 100% crit chance while stealth. Scouts start with a revolver, 44 ammo, and a medkit. Technicians are master of equipment and tinkering. Tech utilize power as a class resource, regenerating by picking power orbs dropped by mechanical and semi-mechanical enemies, overflowing until you reach a level. Techs can use consumables, including throwables, twice as fast. For a difficulty-dependent amount of power, you can activate a smoke screen that will block the sight around you. You are immune to smoke-induced flow effects. You can dismantle a modded item to receive back one of its mods. Techs start with 3 multi-tools and a small tech kit. Heavy gunners are proof that subtlety is overrated. Heavies have a scrap as a class resource, replenished by gathering scrap dropped from mechanical and semi-mechanical enemies, and from chests. They can overflow until you leave a level. You swap weapons twice as fast. You create a temporary barricade that can act as cover. Heavies start with an SMG and a small medkit. Let's be a scout.
Something's gone wrong. Really fucking wrong.
It's going to take a hot second to figure out these controls. They're not that hard, but one of the reasons these games tend to be difficult is because the ones that aren't freedom of mouse control and mouse movement, they are hard to get used to moving in. The ones that most play like the Doors of Trithias and Soul Ash are simple, because it's just mouse movement. The ones that aren't like a twin stick shooter are most hard, because you have to learn how to menu. So I might eat shit at first until I figure out how to menu.
Let's get a move on.
I never sent out a tweet that I was streaming. There you go. Fixing that. Echo.
Waiting for.
They send a tweet, goddammit! Why are you so fucking pushy? Okay. You come back from a routine patrol of the Callisto orbit. Your landing craft is shot down by the automated defense systems. Something is wrong. Pistol, ranges, pistol, magazine, mods. Okay. I forgot the control button. Fuck. Controller. Wait. Aim hunker was flight stick. Left stick. That's a bad chance to hit.
Wish I could mainline that shit.
I know, man, a pistol, 9mm pistol. Can I take the bullets out of this? There's a med kit. And universal shotgun shells. Is he shooting through the wall?
Shred them to pieces.
And now I have a shotgun.
Clear.
Got him. It can be a little bit difficult at first when you first learn how to pick up one of these video games, but once you eventually get there, you kind of intuit what needs to happen. Most of the time. Sometimes when you're like dealing with multiple pieces of levels when they're made like a grand strategy campaign, it can be very difficult, most definitely. But with ones like this, death is guaranteed. So don't stress about it, except that you'll die. Pick only one master trait per character. Dual pistol SMG only. Some range. What do I want? Improve my class traits. Weapons improved. Passive improved. Dodging improved. Critical chance improved. Swapping between weapons. Critical chance based on close range. Multi-tool hack costs. Meleeing with the enemy with the gun. Automatically switch to melee weapon if present. Critical bonuses for kills. Hoarding. Hoarding would get me Scavenger. Convert 9mm 4 and shells at a 20 to level ratio. Grenades at a 10 to level ratio. Convert 7 6-aught at 20. Convert rockets at 10. Not seeing it. More energy and loot boxes marking for kills. If I get skilled, skilled goes into Ghost. Only one master trait. Let's start here.
Gotta hurry. Security should be here soon.
Oh boy. "94 seconds based on movement means I have 94 turns. Change weapon. This is an auto rifle. How much pistol damage do I have? I have 23 magnum shells. I have several shotguns. I have a lot of 9mm. Let's drop the pistol for the rifle.
More firepower. There's nothing here.
And healing. This is multi-tool. I don't have one. Unlock the vault. Access recon. Get messages. Email to Center the Derationalization Scripts. Pull request 8911. Issue X 107 ill report. Dude's jerk. Security. Another thing about these games, they aren't usually very big on it. I think for this one they use it as flavor. Lore. Very important. Read. Read a lot. Is it like Noita? Yes! Granted, Noita is like infinite creativity with whatever comes up on the wands, but yes! So give me a second to read this. As president of the ships are, they're not a substitute for discipline. You have several reports on compromised secure areas. On your watch, if this continues, there will be severe consequences. Captain Edwards selected to report that Locke and Anderson once again locked me in the armory on Callisto level 5 during virtualization. Already was plotting with the inmates, just being silly little fucker he is, but I'm done with this shit. I want a poncho switch immediately. Callisto 9 elevator control has been moved to the terminal in Callisto level 3 and set as inactive by default. Harrison, I got that code regarding security activation finished, fixed a couple of minor bugs. Bots in Callisto 6 should now boot properly. Unless I made an error, then it should wait for input from HQ, but you might want to double check it. Everything is my workspace in Collector 5. Derationalization. The technician finished writing the tool for gas decontamination on Callisto Lift Level 1. Sent to the terminal at Callisto Level 2 and made it clear we should contact him before initiating procedure. So, there's an armory on Level 5. There is a terminal for mind control on Level 3. There is a security activation panel that is activated on Level 5 that controls bot bugs that are located on Level 6. And the lift for Level 1 is found here, and I hope that was, or this is, that silo, because I have 40 turns to explore everything else in this zone before whatever comes out that elevator comes to fuck me. Let's go up. Not much. 15 turns. Grenade launcher! But do I have grenades? No, I don't. Unfortunate. Because here comes lockdown. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Get the fuck out of here.
That's better.
So that was a treasure room. Or it's how what this game does is a treasure room. Get the medkit back. I'm bleeding. I'm good. Gas canister exploded. Explosion canister exploded. Living. Getting hit by this despite not really being in range. Revolver. Playing smart. Three out of 6. 3 out of 6. There might be situations I'm going to have to start using bullets off the ground. That's a lot of drones. That's a lot of drones. Engineer's food. I couldn't sleep tonight, so I think you can offer is eat the same shit we do. If not, I think there's actually real food somewhere in the station. Been years since I eat real food. Don't care if they drop me in the mine face. I'd kill for a potato or real meat. Lieutenant Thomas, the following assets are scheduled for processing. Private Williams, McDonald's, Robertson, Armstrong, and Sergeant Martin. Please take care of it ASAP, and this time be more vigilant with disposing of the bodies. Reply, canteen menu changes. What the fuck is any of this black goo? This stuff isn't remotely edible. You might as well feed us the shit they're drilling in mines. Hell, what is it you think you're eating? Engineers arriving. Listen, Hugo, tomorrow during your shift in the cluster mines level 1, there's going to be some technicians coming to tighten up the emergency defense systems. I beg of you, try to be nice to them. I cannot find anyone available for that shift, and last time I had visitors over with you in charge, they took a quick ship back with a stop at the infirmary. So, there's something waiting for me down there. Let's go through this unopened door. And that's Fire Fiend. Hey, Birdie!
Can't see shit.
Ammo. Shotgun. Ammo. Change to the auto rifle because we got a lot of bullets. One down. Unfortunately, we didn't get leveled up there, so we couldn't bring the grenade launcher with us. So let's get an extra inventory slot. Just in time to pick up his 15 out of 24. Nope. 2 out of 6.
Sweet smell of heavy ordnance.
2 shots left. Elevator to the Callisto hub. I can hear a demon around the corner.
Need to reload.
That's what happens when you don't reload. 3 out of 3. Danger to me.
That ain't the spot.
3 to 3. 3 out of 3. 1 out of 3. 2 out of 3. 2 out of 3. If only you could just take the bullets out of him. Tech station. Fair armor. Create mod pack. Create vampiric pack. Create phase kit charges. Blah, 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 blah. Extract multi-tool. 1 charge, 1 charge, 1 charge. So, I can repair armor, which I have none. I can add a mod. I can create a mod pack. I can dismantle items. Or I can extract a multi-tool. Hey, Stu. Multi-tool. Now we can see enemies that are on the level. Up in the uppermost actuated corner of the map. Okay. Clear. Multi-tool. Multi-tool. Fortunately, this isn't like most of the traditional net hacks. If it was like more traditional net hacks, I'd have to worry about food as well. Which is basically a feed me or die stat. Stops you from just basically being lazy as fuck.
That takes care of this area.
Strategy is a very important thing. Now that I have multi-tools, I can now start calling things. Like elevators. Ah. That takes 2 charges. To conserve ammunition, it might be the case that I will have to start using ammunition off ground. And this blue one
I don't see shit to pick up.
should be to a hub split.
This is gonna be a hell of a fight.
He's got a hunter rifle. I got killed from dying for trying to step around the corner like that.
That's the good shit right there.
That's what I get for doing that. Level 2 is more inventory slots. That doesn't really help in this situation. Weapons range doesn't really help. Let's go level 2 skilled. This is a red pistol. Nine out of 2 impact. Combat pistol. Double tap. AV2 grenade launcher. Long shot 2 specialist. Now, just turn around, pick the empty one, put it down, pick this one back up. And here we've got 24 impact semi-auto, 3.810 with a reload time with a magazine of 5, with no bullets on the ground. 1 bullet left here, 1 bullet left here. So the faster you kill, the more access you'll have to actual tools. Increase it up to 5. Use a charge to heal thyself. Do this. And 1. And heal. Another auto rifle. I'll take that, thank you. There we go. Basic helmet, basic armor. Through 600 durability, I lose some dodge. I get some protection against slash, pierce, and plasma. Access recon. Classified report on your operations. I'm gonna click it. Access messages. Not even a year passed, but I hate this place even more every day. 4 years of excellent DF service, 1 super bar fight later, I'm stuck on this shithole. How the fuck was I supposed to know you was fucking secret police? Update, new harvest, and tested, contamination is missing and present, rationing back to normal. Equipment malfunction. Joshua, be sure to report the rotary drill malfunction to the quartermaster with 2 drills will never make the quarter needed in time. Cooper runs his van. This ship of vaccines arrived in 3 months. There's nothing we can do to cut that date. Sorry for the loss of the 4th Division. So no assets delivered, you have to make do with what's available. No, we got it for you. I picked up your AV2 basic armor from maintenance. All shiny and polished, going to drop it off in your quarters at Mimir Habitat level 1. So I'm inside the Callisto Hub. Because I'm in the Callisto Hub, this exits to the Mimir habitat. So I can go steal his shit if I want it. And I will! And I will! But first I gotta live to get there to take it. And here's the transfer. AV-1 9mm pistol. 16 impact, 9x3 impact, automatic. This pistol is better, or rather this auto rifle is better. But this has an effect on it called Zombie Bane. 100% damage against former humans. There's another hunter rifle, but it actually has magazine this time. I see him around the corner.
That takes care of this area.
I live. I use another charge. I got myself again.
That ain't the spot.
So, come back over here and look at this one. This one on the ground. Doesn't say anything. But my shotgun says slowdown. You buff enemies slowdown damage, reducing the move speed by 50. Long shot. Bonus damage at enemies at range 5. 200% skill damage after classical use. So if I come out of stealth with this, I do 200% more damage. Good to know. So what I need to do is I need to make use of my revolver, but until I find something better, I'm going to hold on to the revolver. Power mod pack. If you set of batteries and circuits, allow power-based perks to equip a new weapon. Let's put it on the armor. Extra inventory space, bleed immunity. Bleed immunity, please. And into the uptop we go. It is dark here. You are likely to be eaten by... Oh my god. That's an old school reference. It means stay out of the dark. go auto rifle. Perfect case example of exactly why that is a good perk. I still have stealth if the game wants to recognize my controller. Game. Back in business. This is an SMG. It has extra range, Mimir Defense Force, +1 optimal weapon range. What is it loaded with? 9mm. So let's look at this. 653, 237. And 3.6. This has extra reload time, but more magazine size. This is impact. Has optimal weapon ranges with 1 less extra range. It also has a longer reload time. So we're looking at 30 compared to 27. 9 times 3 is 27. This doesn't have a bonus on it, so we're going to pick up the one with the bonus. And now you can see 4.4 ammo on the ground.
Attack's full.
So now you can choose to have a weapon for long distance engagements. Let's try to get rid of the 4.4. Restore power.
Let's shed some light on matters.
Sniper requires deadly precision. We don't quite have Ghost yet. To get there, we would need Hacker in level 6. Hacker would allow us to decrease multi-tool use. Let's do that. Unlock the vault. Access messages. Note medical. Remember your quarterly medical checkup is this week. Failure to report to your physician and allocated data may report health penalties or termination of your contract. Cal 6 Central. Hi Isaac. I attempt to report to Cal 6 Central with access. Have you experienced any issues with accessing this area recently? I suspect something might be going on. Journal, Rogers, day 12/68. I worked at the mine, same as yesterday, same as before, same as every fucking day for the last couple of years. My physician told me to write this stupid journal. It doesn't fucking help. Email Chips. Sarge, why the fuck do we need to have those chips installed too? I understand it's safety protocol, but this shit really messes with my head. Seven 6-aught. Rockets. 7.6-aught. 44.
No room.
9mm. So after really getting used to it, the grid-based movement really isn't that hard to pick up. Goodbye, Schnitzel. Are most of these games not procedurally generated? So wouldn't most of the terminals not matter? No. Information's important. I did not realize the fight was going to be difficult and we would have fun playing it on the server, Carl. That's no big deal. You guys are gonna make progression on the server without me eventually at some point. That's why I made a separate file. That's why I made a separate file.
Carrying too much shit.
This is also from the Air Defense Force. This is 18. This is 24.
Pack's full.
My pack's full of ammo. I've got to stop picking shit up.
I didn't think I could break that. Not like anything's gonna come out of it. Pain. Hello, armor. Acid skeleton. Immunity from acid. Increase melee damage by 25. 1 plus inventory. This is meshed. This one I dropped. Camo boost. Auto repair. Increases stealth duration, repairs itself up to 30%. Yes, sir. I need a med kit. And there's one behind me. Yes, sir. There's the Air Defense Force. Increase health.
That hit the spot.
Get. Let's drop. The grenade launcher. Or rather, I should probably drop the 7.6 aught. Probably.
I don't see shit to pick up.
Okay.
Seems I got them all.
This is 9mm. Last round. I came in over there. This leads me deeper into the habitat. So it seems like, yeah. So 44, change out for the sniper rifle. Keep the ammunition for the auto rifle. And that will give me enough ammunition to get through. With the bulk. So that's for sniper rifling. Because I don't have anything that uses rockets yet. Just grenades. Now we get the fuck out of here. Four. Central.
That ain't the spot. Locked.
Hello, you shotgun. Stabilize, slow down. And this one. Stabilize for maximum range. Oh, what the deal for biological enemies? Okay. We're getting weapon upgrades. Whatever's in there is locked behind the door. I need the panel.
Locked.
From both sides. Smokes. Scope, defense force. Aiming adds aim bonus to critical chance. Exact similar.
No room.
No room in the inventory for it. I think 4 caps of 9mm might be enough for that.
I'm carrying too much shit.
Find some healing.
No fucking ammo. Reload.
One shot. Right. That's going to be danger in the future. Clearance levels have been updated. Have you been trying to interface within the essentials? These levels should be able to raise your access level. The one encoded on the chip, make sure it's in working condition. If it's damaged, may not properly interface. Agroform accident status update. Current harvest is contaminated as of unidentified bacteria. Source of no interaction they have until next month. Losing my sanity, said every time you get used to the smell, the constant humming generates eerie silence, and the constant feeling of powerlessness. Bullshit. 2 years down, 13 more to go. I doubt I'll be able to pick up normal life afterwards. So they were clearly going insane. Full ammunition.
Fucking ammo. Reload. Not dead yet.
Nine millimeter armor rifle. Hunter 3. So now we have the SMG. Bonus and damage against high tier enemies. Reloads weapon on move. Yes, sir. Chain gun will not be bad, but I don't have ammunition for the chain gun. precise. Speed loader. Half of the aim bonus percentage is added to damage. I'll take that. That'll reward me for hunkering.
Some shit.
Grenades. Ammo. Shotgun. Choices, 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 choices. I guess we take it. Leave behind the SMG. Use the med kit. Pick up the grenades. Reload the grenade launcher. Double back for it if we need it.
Need to reload.
I'm in pain. And I have my master skill.
Blood for the blood god.
And we have more copies of SMGs. I have more enough. Non-manufacturization, manufacture advanced weapons, manufacture advanced armors, manufacture base weapons, dismantle items, extract multi-tools. What am I not wearing? I'm not wearing utility, I'm not wearing a relic.
Floor is empty.
Maybe one tactical. Everything's 2 charges. This already has one. I guess it's just a distraction. Then we go to Valhalla Spaceport.
I don't see anything. There should be something here to get me off this rock.
Lucky with grenade launcher ammunition we are here. Sneak attack. That's a tool. Ball sec against robotic enemies.
I'm carrying too much shit.
Another one. I want to put it here. No. How about here? How about here? How about here? How about here? Access security. Disable the drones, hack the drones, initiate purge. One hanger. Access recon. Go to the map. Messages. Itchy. Accident on the agriform. Rations have released the following week. Updates follow. Regarding prisoner CM225, that's a constant incident. We've sent CM225 for processing. Sorry for the inconvenience and chip malfunction. Martin, you're assigned to patrol duty on prison of high orbit. Effective immediately. Report to the space station at once. Have you heard about M? Damn, losing email prisoners over such a minor offense. Be sure to visit him, dude. Ship swap. Hey, Charles. Can you take over my next shift? Me and the boys have a little surprise planned for the captain. And boy, will he not like it. Long shot cleaner 5. Holy shit. I'm learning to not be to not give a shit about ammunition. Long shot 4, cleaner 5. Yes, sir, indeed, Bob. The S-44 rifle.
No room in inventory. That's better.
Four. Eight times 4 impact spin up to +2, +4 shots, higher chip chance, secondary targets, increased giving. Now while I'm hearing all this heavy shit, moving. I feel like that should not have died that quickly. I die here. The kind of mistakes that happen when you make bad choices. I did not think that was a boss. But alas, behold what it feels like to play a game at permadeath. $4,700 turns, huh? I got blitzed down because I stepped in front of something I shouldn't have. And right back out of it. Just enough to get right back into it. Definitely worth the play. And definitely worth the advertisement. This is perfect for people like me. Okay. Almost time to make dinner. Or rather, it's time to make dinner. I'm gonna go do that. Wee.